This senior ministerial visit to Moscow will undoubtedly be closely watched, not just in Kyiv, but across European capitals as well, with EU leaders looking for signs of what President Ramaphosa's proposed peace initiative may entail. Of course, the presidency has been keen to stress that South Africa's position in this conflict is one of non-alignment, but some countries here, particularly in the East and the Baltics, could just interpret this visit to the Kremlin as one of South Africa expressing a preference or a position that favours Russia. That is because these types of ministerial visits from Europe really don't happen anymore. There is a very deliberate effort underway here to both isolate Russia and to send a unified message that the West will continue to support Ukraine both diplomatically and militarily. And while most agree that this war will come to an end through negotiation, there is also a very strongly held view here that negotiation can only take place with Ukraine being directly involved. For that reason, the news that SA will also send a senior delegation to Kyiv will likely be warmly welcomed both in Brussels and other parts of Europe as well. For President Zelensky's part, he has been attempting to widen his diplomatic outreach. He, of course, travelled to Hiroshima over the weekend for the G7 summit. He used that as an opportunity to not just speak to G7 leaders, but also the leaders of other nations that have been less vocal against Russia, including India, South Korea, and Indonesia. Before that, he used the trip to travel to Saudi Arabia to express a similar view to members of the Gulf states and the Middle East. Of course, ultimately, this is high-stakes diplomacy. SA is keenly aware that emotions are running very high in Europe right now because of this conflict, and it won't want to get key close partners like Germany and France offside. But as the bombs continue to fall across Ukraine, trying to play the role of negotiator will be a difficult balancing act for SA. The easy answer in all of this is that the war needs to come to an end. Where it gets more tricky is trying to work out just how that can happen. Trent Murray, SABC News, Berlin.